Good morning. It's a glorious one today. Just going to take the car down to pick up a parcel. Yeah, all good stuff. Tucked very nicely away in the garage. It's a tight fit. We had to get out a lot of junk to get that in there. I'm not even sure you can see that in this light, but anyway, it's a very bright light today.
So some good contract hire rates to be had on S model iPads. I had one come through for me, I think 8,000 miles for £158 a month. It makes it quite a tenable car to have. I mean, obviously you don't get all the gadgetry gizmos I've got necessarily in this car. That would be on the springs rather than air suspension. Not sure I explained why we went for the air suspension. There was a good reason for the air suspension actually. It's one of my colleagues has a very bad back. So for them it's really important that the ride comfort is good. We tried the two cars out, one on springs and one on air suspension, and it was just, I noticeably more comfortable riding on air suspension. Although I have to say, this sideways wobble is not working very well for them at the moment, so we need that sorted out. But certainly didn't notice that on the test drives, and air suspension just gave us that extra level of comfort. Now some people don't see that, they actually find the springs are perfectly comfortable enough for them, and maybe in your case that's the case. So it might be something you don't want to splash out money for, and then the S model, iPads S model, is a perfectly reasonable car to go for. Yes, it doesn't have things like the HUD, it doesn't have some of the fancy driver assistant stuff, the automatic steering, or the, I'm not even sure if it comes with ACC, I'll have to check that out. But ACC is the automatic cruise control, the radar assisted cruise control, whatever you like to call it, where it keeps the distance from the car in front automatically for you. But it will come with all the magic of this car, which is the drive quality. The drive on this is amazing. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see that through the camera this time, but this is the first time I've really noticed the heated windscreen, HMI windscreen. I can see the cabling, or the dots of the cabling in it, twinkling in the light. The sun's just coming in at a very light angle. Not distracting, just makes the windscreen look a bit dirty, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously now with the 2019 model in the UK, or 2020 model, sorry, in the UK, model year 2020, which is weird saying that, you can't get the car without a heated front screen, and it's part of the standard package now for winter pack. I'm not sure why they did that, but I guess having just one type of windscreen makes for production savings. One thing I have noticed, even this time of year, normally I'd be getting bugs all over the windscreen. I haven't seen any at all. I know there's still talk about the reduction in insect qualities in the UK at the moment, and worldwide for that matter. But even so, normally my windscreen is absolutely covered in bugs, sputter at this time of year, and it's not. We'll see how it goes into the summer, but I'm just wondering if it's the airflow at the window over the top is reducing that impact. It's certainly a very raked windscreen, that's part of the reason for all the reflections. I'm getting used to the reflections, I don't see them anywhere near as much as I did to start with.
It's a pretty tight squeeze here in the garage. I'm right up against the wall to do this, but there we go. I have to make sure I do it before the wing mirrors come out, otherwise I wouldn't get in. Managed to top up yesterday on a friend's charger, so back up to 210 miles. I've very rarely got below 200 miles this last couple of weeks. It's quite amazing. This idea of always be charging, as James Cook likes to say, I think actually Tester Bornhausen says that as well, is really important with the Jaguar. Yes, it does guzzle electrons, but if you keep it topped up you don't really notice.
So I've come into town to pay a check-in, and like many shopping centres in the country now, Queensgate in Peterborough has Type 2 chargers. These are located on one floor up from where you come in on the green car park, and very easy to use. You just need the cable which is supplied with the eyepiece to plug in. I usually keep that in the front of the fruit. Don't really like that name, but it's kept in there for convenience, so it doesn't get buried under luggage. I did have to move the plastic blocks out of the way, which kind of delayed the traffic behind me, and they got a bit agitated, but it wasn't too long there. But yeah, really useful, and it's free.
Now, one thing I forgot to mention last week's show is the fact that I don't have home charging. Although I've got a garage at home, there's no power to the garage. It's a block of flats, so obviously apartment living is a challenge sometimes. So I can only top up by chopping out fast chargers, on the generosity of friends and family, and also the office as well. But it works so far. In fact, it's been working extremely well. Anyway, here's the car on charge. See, it's a tightish space. But it's a good old system having these chargers. This is actually the cable which comes with the car. I keep it in the front of the vehicle, in the fruit. So I'll put it here now to say it's charging. I'm not quite sure how I stop this charging. I guess I unlock the car and it will stop charging. Let's see if that works. So we need to find the key, which I've got somewhere around here. Let's have a look. So let's go for it. So let's pull this out of the way. Unlock twice. And that looks good, promising. Yeah, unplugged, no problem at all. Down there for a second, I'll pull it through in a sec. Probably should put the front on that before I do that. I'm actually going to turn myself off for dropping that cable down there. Let me pick it up. As you can see, it's actually got a cover, which I should have put on first, and then wouldn't potentially cause any damage, because this is an expensive cable, expensive bit of kit. I'm glad it gets locked into the car when you're charging, so nobody can steal it, but even so, it's not something you want to damage. Anyway, let's get on. I do love this parking camera, it's so easy to manoeuvre yourself. Go slightly forward to get this absolutely straight. There is a slight lag, which is disturbing at times, but it's not too bad. And it stays on when you're going forward for a few seconds, which is rather good. Anyway, I've got a text message in. So we're lining up to get in the garage, which is a challenge, and I might need to go a little bit further over to the left. That looks pretty perfect alignment. Yes, as I keep getting tweets about, I am wearing the red jumper again. It's actually a slightly different red jumper. Anyway, before I put the car in the garage this time, I just wanted to talk about those issues I'm going to take the car into the dealer for. So it's going in next Wednesday, which isn't too far away, and they could have had it in earlier, but that worked out better for me. So the issues are basically the centre console, which we've mentioned before. Basically, these USB ports down here don't always work. I don't always get power from them, and I equally don't get Android Auto on them as well. And the other thing which happens when that happens is that we get this issue, which I was hinting at in the first blog, about the SIM card not working. So it sits at reading SIM forever. When these power on, the SIM is read instantly and we get 4G data. At the moment it is actually on, we've got 4G data. If it was a bit darker, you'd actually see the wording on that board there is actually lit up. when it fails, it's not lit up. So I've got a feeling that's some sort of loose connection. I don't think that's actually an issue with software. The other ones I think are probably more likely to be software, well, at least most of them. So the other things around charging. So I mentioned earlier we've got this issue where the car locks itself. So when I'm visiting one of my colleagues at their home office, they kindly let me charge on the home charger. And what happens is as soon as I plug in, the charge starts, but the doors on the car lock. And because the doors on the car are locked, and I haven't pressed any buttons or anything, I'm not pressing my key or anything like that, or touching door handles, it just locks. I know it's supposed to lock the charging port, but I don't think it's supposed to lock the doors at that point. Anyway, as soon as you open the doors, another issue occurs, which is the fact that it goes back to initializing. Now, that's a potentially costly issue, because although it doesn't matter on the home charger so much, it starts another session on the home charger. Now, if that happens on a commercial charger, you may be incurring per session costs. So yeah, it's something I want to get sorted out. Another charger related thing is timer charging. Not something I've really used so far, but I did test it and it doesn't work. So if say I wanted to charge overnight on cheap rate electricity at one of my friends' houses, I couldn't do that because the charging seems to start immediately on this car. It's a known problem, and I believe there's an update coming out for it. Anyway, so that's the main software problems, and there's one mechanical issue, and I'm not even sure this is an issue, but it's something I've noticed which I didn't notice on the test drives. What will happen is if I go over a bump, and you may have seen this on some of the videos, we'll get the car rocking side to side like this, and it settles after a few seconds, but it is quite disconcerting. One of my colleagues who was in the car the other day said it made them feel seasick, so I just want to get to see if there's something they can actually tweak, and they've said they'll try and fix all of those problems. They were very grateful that I actually outlined them. Really useful tip there. It's very helpful to the dealers if you tell them in advance what the problems are, and send them an email with it on, because they can then pass it on to Jaguar to get feedback. So that they were really grateful for that. But I have to say, I've been really impressed with the Jaguar dealer here in Peterborough at Marshalls. They've been really good to me, and they don't know I'm doing this blog, so it's not because of that. They just treated me like any other customer. Something I forgot to mention. I had a little number 1 next to my profile name earlier today, and it told me that my heated seats or climate seat preferences were now available, and did I want to activate them, which I've done. So that's kind of cool. One other thing I wanted to talk about was the subject of updates. Now, there's been a lot of unrest about the fact that, unlike Tesla, where they get the over-the-air updates, and also there's a lot of openness at Tesla about what updates are coming. I think I mentioned this in the end of the last vlog, although you probably didn't hear that because the audio was so bad on that piece. I apologize again about that. I'll try and do better in this one and get the audio a lot better. But anyway, I was talking about basically the fact that on the Teslas, a lot of the information about the upcoming updates is actually known well before the update's actually released. They go out to beta testers, the beta testers tend to leak the information. Nobody seems to ever say anything to those beta testers about doing that. They just leak the next lot. But yeah, so there's a lot of information already out there about what's coming in updates way before they arrive for the Tesla. There's a sense of anticipation about them, and then they pop up on the screen and they go. Now at the moment, Jaguar haven't got over-the-air updates working. There's been a couple of updates and stuff pushed out to the versions. I think if you get a local car now, they should be over-the-air update enabled, but they're not actually pushing them that. I understand it's under testing. I understand it's coming very soon, so we should start seeing these pop up. At the moment, people are finding that unless they ask for an update, they're not actually going to get it from the garage, and some of the updates have actually been put on hold, possibly because of reliability issues. Now, one of the things here I think is Jaguar is a bit tied down by its dealer network. It's actually in Jaguar's interest for us not to have updates done. The reason I say that is because if you have an update done at a dealer, it's going to be treated as warranty work. The dealer's going to want Jaguar to pay for that, and they're going to obviously put their markup on top of it, and it's going to be costly. So if there's not actually a, shall we call it, say, show-stopping issue, they don't have to shell out and get those updates put on cars unless you actually ask for them. And if you ask them, you're going to have a good reason for asking it as well, because it would have to be treated as a warranty repair. Now, I think that all these updates are fixing bugs, which are good reasons for those updates to be installed, and we should be getting them. But you can kind of see why it would be in Jaguar's interest not to push them at the moment. Now, I think that's a mentality they're going to have to change. I think it's difficult with the way we've currently structured our motor industry, particularly in the UK, with the dealer networks. The dealer networks totally rely on their ability to charge for servicing and for warranty work. Without that, they wouldn't have the ability to have engineers on site to do the work. They don't make much margin on these cars. I know the cars are expensive, but the margins have been pruned over the years. So holding stock is not something they do so much these days. They tend to order things in, which is why they get delays getting the cars compared to what used to be the case. There's a lot of reasons why it's kind of a broken system, particularly electric cars, where there's going to be a lot less maintenance and lots less money for them to earn. They're probably quite happy at the moment. There's been so many issues with the I-Pace because they get to earn a little bit of money. But anyway, I think that's part of the reason we've not seen a push to get updates out to people, not to say, come back in, we've got a lovely update for you, which will fix your laggy display, or fix your camera, reversing camera not being quite so fast, or fix your 100 kilowatt charging, although it won't do that quite yet, because I suspect that's both ends of the cable need to be sorted on that, the charger and the car. But anyway, I think that's part of the reason for this. I think it's going to change. I think we are going to see over-the-air updates fairly shortly. I think we're certainly getting enabled to have them. There have been one or two over-the-air updates. There was an over-the-air update for the blanking issue, which was to a particular module, but that had to be induced by pressing the assist button, the one up there in the car, for a certain number of seconds, and then it came across. That should have been installed on all the cars. I mean, my experience last week was obviously that my car had the blank screen left, then it didn't have it. Then it did have it, they didn't have it, but they put an update on it and it seems to have fixed it. But my versions I see on the car are all the same as they were beforehand. And I certainly don't have the latest version, according to what most people are saying as the forms of the latest version. I think it will be better when we get the over-the-air, but the over-the-air won't necessarily do all the modules. I'm told there's still some modules which might have to be updated in the garage. It's certainly to the entertainment system, navigation system, probably the battery module, the battery BACS, battery control system. But there's also a body system, body module, which is actually one of the campaigns which is out at the moment. I'm hoping they're going to sort out my car this week. That's the sort of thing which controls things like the ventilation system, the air conditioning, also the filtration system. If you've got the problem where things outside tend to filter into your car, even though you've got your filtration on quite high. I saw in one of Bjorn's recent videos he was saying that he was getting the smell of diesel from the outside. That hopefully is solved by a body control system update. So there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of things which are going to happen. I think we are right on the cusp of it happening. I was actually hoping by delaying purchasing my car, so I wasn't a very early adopter, that I'd actually have had all these things sorted out by the time I got mine, but obviously still on the cusp at the moment. But I think come a month or so's time we'll start getting the updates out there, and I think Jaguar will push over the updates because they're not fools. They know that this is the way the market's going. I think they will start pushing them once it doesn't cost them anything to push them. God, this vlogging thing is an interesting thing to do, you know. I'm on my 5th or 6th take of the last video. This little tiny segment I've done here now has taken about 10 attempts. Just can't get it right. But anyway, I'm trying to be natural. I'm trying to be just me, talking to you about the I-Pace. That's what I want to do. I want to get the information out there beyond just the text of the forums. Tomorrow I'm off to get my new glasses. These ones need replacing. They're about 4 years old. They got a bit scratched as well. They need sorting out. New ones are going to be there tomorrow, so I can pick them up. And they will help a bit, particularly with nighttime driving. I think will be a bit easier. I'm totally legal to drive, but it's just obviously nice to have something a bit better. So I might look a little bit more different once I've done that. But we'll see how it looks. I've got a slightly different style of glasses, but I don't want to shock you when you see the next video. Anyway, enough of that. We'll get on the road again. About to set off on my journey to pick up my glasses over at Kettering, so a little way over there. 124 mile range, so I'll probably come back with about 60 miles range, maybe slightly less. Be interesting. That's been the lowest I've taken it for a while. We'll see how it goes, see how economical we can be on this journey. I've now got down to 99 miles of range. It starts getting, I don't know, is that anxiety? No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not.
I'm also stuck in another traffic jam at the moment, just inside the outskirts of Kettering. I've come in the route I know into Kettering. Maybe the way the sat nav was telling me was better. Maybe I shouldn't second guess this sat nav quite so much. Anyway, yeah, it's now going to say it's taking a few more minutes to get in, but never mind. I'm just enjoying driving the car. Even this start-stop, it's no effort because it just makes life easy. I'm not running on ACC at the moment. I'm just looking at high regen to make it easy, and I'm beginning to get the hang of that. And initially, when I was driving using high regen, I wasn't particularly smooth at driving. Yeah, it was a bit jerky, and some of my passengers commented on it, but now they don't notice it. So I'm obviously doing a better job with that. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying this drive. Nice and sunny. It does look like a summer's day out there. It's crazy. I know the weather's going to change next week, so make the most of it while we can. Okay, well that was an interesting drive. Lots of roadworks, but we're here now, and hopefully with the magic of a click of my fingers, new glasses will be here. And hey presto, new look. I'm not quite used to these yet, but we'll get there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, just leave it a like down the bottom. There's also a little bell icon you can click which will notify you when I post any new videos, and you can subscribe to the channel as well. And also, as I said before, if you want to take part in this channel, just contact me on ipaceforums.co.uk. I'm Gary JW on there.